Hi everybody, I am back with this week's book review. This week I read The Paris Library. It is a historical fiction. It's written by Janet Skeslien Charles. I'm probably butchering that middle name there, but I loved this book, and I said this last week, but I very rarely give out 5-star reviews, but when I do, they're worth it. I'm also a sucker for historical fiction, which is what this is. It's based in the time frame of World War II during Nazi occupation in Paris. Basically, the main character is a girl who works in a library, no shocker, the Paris Library, and she just kind of has to deal with the library being kind of shut down and kind of controlled, and they're told what books they can and can't give out, and obviously they're told who can and can't go inside the library and borrow books anymore. So basically she's just dealing with that. Like I said, I love a good historical fiction. The vibe of this book was very similar, I would say, to Nightingale, but probably a little less graphic and violent. There were a couple of parts that dealt with a little bit of some violence, but overall it really wasn't that gory. I would say out of all the kind of World War II reads that I've picked up, this one was probably the least graphic, if that makes sense. The character herself is very isolated from some of the terrible things that go on during the war. But speaking of the Nightingale, if you did read that, I would say that the main character is kind of a hybrid of the two sisters. She kind of is a little bit more conservative and docile and more of a homebody, kind of like the one sister who wasn't really involved very much but had, I think, a Nazi staying in her house. Again, if you haven't read Nightingale, I definitely recommend it. It's very good. But she also has a little bit of an attitude and a little bit more of an involvement in the resistance, kind of like the second sister in that book. Very, very good. I did think that this book was going to be very similar to Our Missing Hearts, which doesn't take place in World War II. It kind of takes place almost in the future, but kind of current time frame of the U.S. It's a very interesting read. That's another one that I would definitely recommend, Our Missing Hearts by Skeslien. But I thought it was going to be similar to that, where within the library there's kind of a resistance taking place and people are sneaking things. There was a little bit of that, but just definitely not on the scale that I imagined it would be. But definitely 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5. Loved the book. I feel like I read it very quick. It's a little over 400 pages. Did not feel like it because it is very, very good. I liked all the characters. I don't know. I'm just a sucker for historical fiction, particularly ones that take place in France during that time frame. I've read a bunch of books. I'd also say it's pretty similar to I think, what was it? The Winter Garden, where it's written kind of in two different perspectives and two different time frames. So that was kind of interesting to see. So definitely recommend it. That one was a good one. Now, next week we are reading None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. I have had this one probably about a month or two. I've been looking forward to reading it for a very long time. It's been on my list of books to read for a while, so I'm looking forward to this one. One of my very good friends just read it, and she gave it a 5-star review, and she really, really enjoyed it and said it was outstanding. So I'm excited to read that. If you guys want to pick it up, let me know. If you have any other recommendations on books in general or historical fiction books, because they are very much my favorite, let me know, comment, or kind of leave some tips or tricks on books that you have read that you like, or if you've read The Paris Library, let me know how you felt about it. Okay, bye guys.